So usually when I start a meeting with Debbie involved, I have to say, Debbie, you're on mute. So I guess I just one of those occasions where I don't have to do that. But I do stand here with mixed emotions as I graduate Debbie, my friend, colleague, owner of a super rad Camaro, and soon to be resident of Rhode Island. So she is one of my colleagues that I have known the longest here at Ramapo, having served together for 18 years. It's been 18 years. And so I'm very honored to be here to pay tribute to someone who is as gifted as they come. So before joining higher education, Debbie had a career as a trauma nurse in the ER at St. Joseph's Hospital in Patterson. So Debbie, speaking for a moment about your role in the hospital setting, it's because of you that many people had the opportunity to welcome their loved ones back home. And it was also you who stood ready to console loved ones with empathy and kindness during those tougher times. So while we didn't know you just yet back then, we in this room collectively thank you for that service and thank you for bringing your devotion to human kindness into our world here at Ramapo. So what you may not realize is that Debbie was an English major. Show of hands if you knew that. Not counting health services. So this was a major that was also held by Conan O'Brien, Mary Hart, Joan Rivers, Joy Behar, and Johnny Carson. So if nursing program ever didn't work out for you, Debbie, it looks like you would have had a very successful career in broadcast television. That's good, right? So health services uses software called NewSoft, right? We know about NewSoft. And I had an accomplice, and health services investigate for me how many students have been served by Debbie since the acquisition of NewSoft. Anyone want to guess?
10,000. 15.
She had 12,490 patient visits. So that number is likely higher because that's from the acquisition of NewSoft software. So that is like filling Laurel Hall 30 times, just to put that in perspective. So you helped thousands of students live their most healthy lives, prevent disease, and make a difference in the lives of others with care, quality, and integrity. So as Judy said, for many years Ramapo had its own student-run EMS where Debbie served as the advisor, and you helped give students the hands-on learning they needed to advance their careers, serve the campus needs, and Ramapo's EMS was a point of pride under your leadership. Debbie instilled the most amazing sense of loyalty within this student group who had affectionately known her as Mama Bear. And Debbie herself was a paramedic for 23 years. So these are amazing people who usually never get the chance to be thanked. So today I thank you for those countless hours of service. So Debbie is an example of how creativity and innovation are used to advance our mission. And if you can hear me out on this, I consider Debbie, and I mean this with the kindest of intentions, to be a bit disruptive. Yeah.
You mean she was bold?
So, in order to be creative, you have to jostle things up a bit and help us see when we are getting a little too comfortable. Some of the examples of her being guilty of very disruptive behavior in the workplace is when she brought us HIV testing and health services, the expertise and model used to have Plan B accessible for students, and she created a partnership with a local pharmacy for the delivery of medications for students lacking transportation. Honestly, I could go on and on. I had to pick 3 things. But she's been very disruptive to our workplace, and those are 3 things. Those are 3 things I wanted to highlight for you. So she pushed, took risks, courage. I mean, we really had the courage to be disruptive, and that should serve as a reminder to all of us in this room that we should prioritize experimenting, thinking, and being curious about the gambles that come with transformational change. Exceptional organizations have people like you, Debbie. And I can't thank you enough for making a difference for so many students. You helped an organization unlearn old ways of thinking, and today I congratulate and thank you for being a little too disruptive. So discovering that I would be chairing the pandemic team during a pandemic that the world hasn't seen in 100 years was an eye-opening experience, and I can't thank you enough, Debbie, for your wisdom, and frankly, we could not have done it without you. Nobody worked harder than you to make sure that we were prepared and keeping people educated and safe. In the early days of the pandemic, Debbie and I slept with our phones. We did. So she is one of 2 people who have had the pleasure of hearing me answer my phone in the middle of the night with my retainer in. For that, I owe you a public apology. But it is an example of her dedication, and I also valued the calming effect you had on me and others during some very confusing times. And so frankly, Debbie, I consider you my sister in service. I will never ever forget your support and friendship. You have been incredibly loyal to Student Health Services, and you are nothing short of remarkable. You have been an accessible friend to many in this room, always lent a hand before being asked to help, and you led with your heart. And Debbie, you are one of the people that I'm gladdest to know. So congratulations on your graduation.